Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here, back in the video, and today I'm bringing you guys another Madden 21 Blitz. This one we're going to be running out of the nickel double A-gap formation. Now, nickel double A-gap is a very unique formation. There's no really formations like it out there, and it's really good for blitzing and then also bluff blitzing. It's been a formation that's become a little bit more popular recently. A lot of people are running it online. Really, what's difficult on defense right now is defending 5 routes. People are sending 5 routes out. There's not really too many blitzes. So the way you take care of that is you blitz and then you bluff blitz. And really this formation will scare a lot of people. Just get them to block their running back on their own. But I'll show you how to get pressure on a 5-man protection, 6-man protection, and also bluff blitz all the way down to only rushing 2 people. So first things first, what you want to do is adjust these DNs. So this right here is the defensive end spot. We got Montez Sweat. I'm going to leave him there. He's very fast, agile, he's tall. And then right here, you can actually sub in linebackers. So in Ultimate Team, I recommend putting like a Patrick Willis and a Sam Mills at these DN spots. Not only for their speed in rushing the passer, but also because of their coverage ability for the bluff blitz setups where we drop them into coverage. We want them to be able to have as much speed and coverage stats. Now right here, doesn't really matter, I could throw DNs, I'm just going to leave these D tackles, and then obviously at the linebacker spot, you can throw safeties. We got Collins, we got Apke. That's pretty much it. Just get your best DBs. Usually I find myself using the free safety. Again, sometimes you'll use the strong safety, so just get 2 good safeties. And yeah, so we're going to be running mid blitz. There's a lot of good plays out of this. I might drop some more videos out of this formation if you guys enjoy this one. But again, just mid blitz. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you are new. We're on the road to 12,000. And on offense, let's just call it base curl combo out of the spread formation. So setup is going to be relatively simple to start off. All you're going to do is just spread your D-line, and then what I like to do, you notice that, look at the DNs, they're on kind of weird blitzing things. This guy's on like some sort of contain, Holcomb, then Montez Sweat, he's on this little orange. I'm not sure what they call them, but there's a couple of plays where all 4 D linemen are on them. Pretty much we want to get rid of those. What I like to do is just slant inside. I feel like that's the best way for them to just blitz down, especially if they're not going to be picked up. So I like to simply slant inside. Slanting outside will slow the rush, especially if one of these guys is going to be the player that is your free rusher, so you don't want that. I like to slant inside again. So just relatively simple. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to want to press your defense, especially for these quick reads. People see pressure coming at them. They're going to try and quick snap a slant, quick snap an out, quick snap a wheel, whatever. Also, you can manually move this guy down so that he's pressed. That's something that I see a lot. The tight end, he just seems to be always like backed off on. I always manually move my player that's made up on the tight end down so that doesn't happen. So this is pretty much just the base thing for this setup. I just got a 5-man protection on offense, so we'll just snap the ball and you will see the pressure coming in from the outside. Now again, keep these guys are 85 speed, so they're not super fast in comparison to Ultimate Team where you can get 90 plus speed. But you see Montez Sweat. I'm not sure why he got nano detected there. When I was labbing this, he never really got nano detected. So I'm just going to set that up again really quickly, just the blitz part, and snap the ball again. Right there, you see now, he didn't get nano detected. Rarely. I was labbing this for like 20-25 minutes before this video, and I haven't got nano detected once. So kind of weird that happened, but usually you will never get nano detected. That's never been an issue. Just taking a look, again, Montez Sweat, I think he's around 85 to 87 speed. Haven't really checked his exact rating, but you see, just coming straight down. Relatively quick pressure, and obviously, you know, we're rushing 6 people on a 5-man protection. You know, I was just kind of setting it up. I didn't even press. I was just showing you guys the blitz because we got nano detected, but I would be using the running back in this case because that's obviously going to be the hot read. It's going to be the slot receiver and the running back. You see Montez Sweat from being in a 3-point stance and just straight downhill. It's pretty quick. Here it is in real time, so relatively quick. See the routes are barely developed, so it's going to be difficult to make a read on that. And again, we're going to talk about the bluff blitz later. Your opponent, he's not going to know whether to block 7 people or block 5 people, so it's going to be frustrating for him. But again, the blitz setup, you're just going to spread your defensive line, slant your D-line inside, and then you're just going to press your defensive backs. And then you can also shade over the top. A lot of times people might try and chuck a streak on you. You don't have to shade over the top if you don't want, if you have good enough corners. but I like to shade over the top. Then with your user, something I'll just show you, what you want to practice is just hovering in the gap. So with Everett, I'm just going to hover like this in the gap. That'll come more for the 6-man protections rather than the 7, but for now it's just a good thing to practice, just hovering in the gap, and then we'll run over here. So now you see Cole Holcomb, he's the one who got the pressure. So again, it really designated if your right D end or your left D end is going to get pressure. It kind of varies, depending. That time I hovered, which was probably the reasoning, considering we kind of occupied this left guard for a second, which obviously was the reason that Holcomb was freed up. So we occupied him for a second, and that's really, you see Jonathan Allen, looks like he's going to be the free rusher. Peters actually does a pretty good job of sliding over, but obviously he has to pick one or the other, and Holcomb, which is the guy you want to come free because he's going to be running heck of a lot faster than your defensive end, although there are some pretty fast DNs in Ultimate Team if that's what you are playing. But again, spread D-line, slant inside, press with your user, you can hover here, snap the ball, run down, and again, you saw we actually got 2 people of pressure that time. So the hovering, you can get 2 free rushers. Sweat did get nano detected. Honestly, does make no sense how we got nano detected that time, but this time we had 2 free rushers, so it doesn't matter. More times than not, when Sweat is the only rusher, he doesn't get detected. That time again, he did. But you see, we get the free rusher. Not sure what Jason Peters is doing, but this is just the cheese of the blitz. You see him getting out. Maybe it was me kind of hovered, sliding over, but you see 2-man pressure. And we were able to go to work. Obviously, this is a situation where you would want to share over the top because you see Fulgham has 3 yards of separation. But I'll show the blitz, one more time. Or actually, let's just move into the 6-man protection now because the video is already running a little bit long. Don't want to keep you guys occupied for too long. So here on the offensive side of the ball, you see I'm blocking Sanders. Again, doing the same thing, slanting up and crashing down with your user. Now, here we're going to be in the 6-man protection. I don't like to be hovered necessarily like this and engage. I kind of like to be in a position where I am sort of hovering, but he's in the hands on the knees position. Really what you want to do, it's similar to the big nickel over G blitzes where when the ball is snapped, I'm going to hold left trigger and sort of slide over to the right. So again, I'm going to recognize that his running back's not blitzing, and I see him in blocking. Now I know to hover, and I don't have to defend anything. So again, I can still press shit over the top, do whatever. But I'm going to snap the ball. I'm going to slide over here. Now that time I kind of messed up. It is pretty difficult to get sometimes. I will say that. So sometimes, doing this little hover method doesn't work effectively. And I will say against the 6-man protection, it's not guaranteed to get pressure, obviously. But again, here I'm going to slide over. Now you see with the pressure, oh, well, I forgot to block my running back. But again, that was a situation where we get the 2-man pressure, and we only we sent 6 on 5, and we got 2 people free. Here I'll block my running back. We'll see if we can get that animation again. Usually one person should be able to come free. The unfortunate thing is that both DNs usually aren't the people that are the free rushers. Usually it's one of these guys, and the running back obviously has an easier chance of blocking those. So again, snap it. Here I'll hover, and Montez Sweat, there you go, got the pressure. So again, with that hovering, it's a little bit inconsistent. If you want to go back to the old engage, you can always do that. I'll show that after this, but take a look. Sanders, you see he's kind of confused. He's confused mostly by my user. You see my user is the one that's keeping him there. Ordinarily, if my user wasn't there, you see how he would slide over to the right, but because my user is there, kind of hovered over the center, he's recognizing me as a free blitzer, and Sweat is able to get pressure. So I'll show it one more time, and then I'll go show you the old engage setup. So again, same setup as always. One thing you do with your user also, put him on a blitz. That just gives you better agility, better cuts in usering. Max protect here, snap the ball, and right there we got the engage. So again, certain things like this might happen where you get different free rushers. That time it looked like the safety did come free, got picked up by Sanders, and then we also had Deron Payne, I believe, get the pressure. So here, it's good that I showed you this, and obviously I should have been talking about how I had my user on blitz earlier, because you notice that really Jason Kelsey slides over to defend me, and I don't even end up blitzing, so that's really the difference in the blitz. You see how Sweat, we definitely would have liked him to get the pressure better, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Maybe Lane Johnson's ratings would help with that. You see we kind of get weird disengages. Weird disengages happen. Deron Payne gets them disengaged, then it looks like Apke kind of does get a disengage, although Kelsey does stonewall him. But Payne gets the shed eventually. That's why I said get quick D lineman. I'll show that one more time because we got a little glitchy animation. Again, just putting my user on a blitz here. I'm not going to be in the hovered position. I'm going to be in just the base coverage position. Snap the ball, and then I can sort of back up. Again, we get the animation where Miles Sanders is detecting me as a blitzer, and Sweat comes free. So let's move on to the coverage. Again, obviously, if I want to, what I could do is just engage with an O lineman. Well, I didn't show it, but you could engage with an O lineman just traditionally as a blitzer, and then kind of back off. But the way I showed you was a lot easier, so I don't even have to mention that. So let's talk about the bluff blitz concept. Basically, what you would do is, first things first, I like to just throw both these DNs in curl flats. So I'm going to throw X in curl flat and throw B in a curl flat. Just base like this. And you still have 4 rushers. So if I wanted to, I could just press, shoot over the top. I have my 2 curl flats, and then I could use these safeties. Because remember, we have safeties right here at linebacker. So I could use Troy Apke and still get pressure. Obviously, if I'm doing that, I could maybe contain. I don't have those DNs rushing, so I don't have to crash down. I can just contain normally. So this is just the first setup. You see, it's a 3-man rush. We got 2 curl flats. This is just a primary man coverage type setup. You see the blitzers still can be a little bit weird. You can still sometimes get disengages on that. Obviously, it does kind of hurt you when Landon Collins is one of your rushers, but it's kind of difficult for him to get out there and defend the curl flats, especially if it's like just a corner out from Y. So that's why I kind of advise for putting the D linemen, and especially you spread them out. They're going to be out there a lot, so that's something you can do. Now, again, this is the setup. Snap the ball with Apke, go user, throw it at me, and you can get a pick. So that was the first setup. Now, the second step, you probably saw me do that little small adjustment that I kind of messed up on. What you're going to do here is, I like this bluff blitz adjustment a lot. You can do it with either player. I could do it with X. I could do it with B right here. So pretty much what I'm doing is putting these players in bluff blitzes. I like these adjustments because they defend shallow routes a lot, slants, drags, and really they are great zones, especially because they kind of blitz, so they're delayed zones. So I'll just show you an example of a setup maybe I would do. Also, if I want, I think you could spread your linebackers like this. That kind of gives it away, but it also gets Apke out there. So if I wanted to play him in a curl flat zone, I could just spread them. And then maybe I sit here with Collins. So this would actually be a 2-man setup. You see, look at Sweat though. He's going to follow. Look at him. He just follows right to left, goes through, and he's almost like another user. Again, that setup was just be on a bluff blitz, and then again, if I wanted to, let's say I notice him throwing to the left flats always, or he's only throwing to the flats the side his running back is on, then I could afford to maybe just throw 1 player in a curl flat, and then I can still send the 3 guys, but have that 4th guy again in a bluff. Just take a look at him. He's almost over there, and you see he actually gets a hand on the ball. So really nice. Obviously, again, blitzing your safety, it's going to hurt you a little bit. But yeah, just the base setup, pretty good. So again, mixing it in, I could also go with the 2-man setup, which I talked about earlier. Just go with completely set up like this, where pretty much I would just be putting one of these safeties in a hook curl instead of having them blitzed. And you see, this is just a complete bluff blitz. So let's say you send the mid blitz on him twice. He's, getting concerned about it. And obviously, just looking at this base defense, it kind of looks scary. 6-man on the D lineman. I would be a little bit scared to go up against this. So maybe I got pressure twice on him. He's going to max protect now. So maybe he tries to motion over, and he max protects. Now you see we're rushing 2 people. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know why that happened. It was because the player that was manned up on the running back ended up blitzing. So obviously that can happen. Jeez, I don't know what the heck that was. One of my players just got completely glitched. Not sure why that happened. I think it was caused by the motion ultimately. But again, I'll show the setup. Haven't even seen that animation before. Gotta love EA Sports, don't you? But here, again, maybe he sees the pressure, and now you just send 2. Now we're not going to get that animation, but you see coverage really well. Not sure why the safety is backing off so much. That's made up with the running back, but that is kind of what's happening. But yeah, obviously, trips, bunch, really good against those formations. And yeah, so I gave you guys a lot of setups. You can do whatever you want. You can also do your own adjustments with the setup. Just kind of want to show you the Blitz setup, couple of my ideas with the Bluff Blitz concept. And yeah, if you want more videos out of this formation, let me know. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and peace. I'm out of here.